is Mrs. Morgan, and we're in Chapter 10, Section 2, Simplifying Radical Expressions, Day 1. We're going to simplify radical expressions with numbers only and also as fractions today. We're going to simplify each expression, and the important thing to remember is that you're going to, we're on example 4. How about example 1? We're going to simplify each expression, and the important thing to remember is that you're going to break your square roots down into perfect squares as much as possible. So your square root 72 is going to break into square root 36 and square root 2. And from there, our square root of 36 is 6, and square root 2 we can't break down any further, so that's just going to be root 2. And that's what our answer is going to look like. Now we have 8 times the square root of 36, and we'll leave the 8 alone. The square root of 36 is 6, so 8 times 6 is 48. In number 3, we have 2 times the square root of 24, square root 2 times square root 24. Square root of 2 we can't break down any further, so we're going to leave it alone, but square root 24 breaks into square root of 4 times the square root of 6, and that leaves us with root 2 times, root 2 times 2 times root 6. Now, our 2 is going to go out front. Root 2 times root 6 is root 12, which, looking at root 12, actually, root 12 breaks into root 4 and root 3, and our 2 is going to come right down again. So we will have 2 times 2 times square root of 3. 2 times 2 is 4 times square root 3. Next, we have 7 root 30 and 2 root 6. Now, we're going to multiply 7 and 2 to get 14, root 30 times root 6 to get root 180. Now, 180 breaks into square root of 36 and square root of 5, and my 14 just comes right down to the outside. So I'm going to have 14 times the square root of 36, which is 6, times root 5. And root 5 we can't simplify any further. So 14 times 6, 84, times root 5. Now in this next example we have a fraction, and with fractions, unfortunately, no radical sign is allowed in our denominator. So the way that we get rid of that is we're going to multiply by whatever's on the bottom. So times square root of 8, and whatever I multiply by on the bottom, I'm going to multiply on the top, because my 8s would just simplify right out to a 1, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to multiply across now. We'll have the square root of 64 as our denominator, square root of 24 on top, and we're going to continue to simplify that downwards. Now, 24 breaks into square root of 4 and square root of 6, and our denominator, square root of 64, is 8. So we can simplify further. And the last piece is that I have a 2 over 8 right here that I'm going to go ahead and simplify. So my final answer is square root of 6 over 4. Now I could put a 1 out front, but when we have a 1 out front, we usually just remove it anyway. But whichever way you guys would like to think about it is fine. All right. Another way to approach fractions is that we're going to multiply straight across. So we will have the square root of 14 over the square root of 21, which we can simplify into the square root of 2/3 so that our numbers are at least smaller to work with. Now we're going to break this apart. So if you have the square root of 2/3, we'll do square root of 2 over square root of 3. But again, no radical sign is allowed in our denominator, so we're going to come in and we're going to get rid of that root 3 by multiplying by root 3. So we will have square root of 6 over square root of 9, which we can simplify one more time, square root of 6 over 3. And that'll be it. Let me know if you have any questions.